Okay, I would really like to come full circle on something really quickly. About 6 months ago, I live unboxed a Google Stadia that was sent to me
Yeah.
for free due to my YouTube Premium membership. And not let me just say a couple things. One, that box is sitting directly behind my second monitor as we speak, and has sat there since I received that box, since I received that package. So, no changes on that front. Also, big changes on the front of Stadia existing, because I don't know if you guys saw the news, but they have ceased any and all game development. Officially, like Google had that division of Stadia kind of separated to develop games exclusively.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, yeah. The mighty in some regard, I guess. They probably put a lot of money into it at the very least. But
So, do you mean like they were literally making their own games for Stadia and now they're just done, or games coming to Stadia is done?
the games that they were making for themselves, like Google produced games, are done. Stadia as a product is not done, although it's hard to imagine that they have a lot of confidence in it if they're doing shit like this. Because like literally the best way to have a console is to make exclusives, right? Like that's the entire reason that Sony is in the position that they're in now. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Cool.
That was the cold open news about Stadia. To everyone who hasn't turned off the podcast, with the mention.
Speaking of Stadia, is it true that it actually ran Cyberpunk like really well?
That is true.
That a myth and a lie?
That actually is true.
That's the kind of world we live in now.
Yeah, it takes a mega corporation to run the game about fighting back against mega corporations really well.
Of course.
Yeah.
We're just sunk.
Yeah, no, that is true. Welcome back. We're back. I'm trying to remember if I did that the last few times. That was like a running gag for a while. We're back. You're listening to the Infinite Scale Podcast Network. I'm enunciating that because watch this space. Pardon our dust. There might be some changes here in the near future. I think we might be adding to our repertoire of topics, seeing as nobody but me and Crossley seems to play video games anymore.
Yeah.
But that's a discussion for another time. It is February 27th, 2021. This is our first regular episode in 2021, actually. We did our little top 10 games of... Did I say top 10? I don't know. I don't remember how many it was. Top however many games of 2020.
Yeah, that thing we did.
Yeah, that thing we did that was like 3.5 hours long or something.
It was.
I really liked doing it. I had a lot of fun.
I had a lot of good. Yeah.
It was 50% people just saying that we need to record a separate episode about whatever game we were talking about at that portion.
That is
50% honorable mentions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true. 50% putting a pin in something and coming back to it maybe later on a different podcast, and 50% honorably mentioning a game that isn't actually on our list. It was super fun.
And me talking about games that didn't come out in 2020.
That's why we have the best old game category, man. That's your wheelhouse, bro. You just throw everything in right there.
I'm a retro gamer.
Mm-hmm. Parasite Eve, tell me about it.
What do you want to know about? Okay.
That's another. We'll do another podcast about that.
We won't.
No, probably not. So I wanted to record this because some things have happened recently. Namely, I don't know what. Does everybody just throw in at the same time? They're just like, hey, let's all have our digital showcase of new games all in the same week? Or is this like just happenstance, because in the last week we had a Nintendo Direct, which was the first one in like a year, if I'm not mistaken. Like I think
The last one was in 2019, I think. There was like a actual direct. They do these digital, like, you know, Pokemon events, like the one they did yesterday or whatever.
Yeah.
But the last like Nintendo Direct, quote unquote, or whatever that's worth, was like 2 years ago, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh shit! I totally forgot. You probably already noticed by now, but joining me is Chris Crossley, and Sean Petersohn. I'm William Chandler. I'm your host. Haha. Welcome. Anyway, yes, Crossley is correct. It's been a little while. And I think what's funny is that I always thought that they called their E3 shows directs, but looking back, I guess that's not the case. I guess they call it like an E3 showcase or some shit.
Treehouse Live.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, so they had a Nintendo Direct that was on February 17th. So a little bit ago, but a couple days after that, BlizzCon did their online thing, which was, I guess, they called it their first online BlizzCon, which I didn't realize they didn't have one last year. I guess they just skipped it.
Oh, I didn't know that either, actually.
Yeah, it seemed like they kind of just were like, whatever. I guess we'll just, not do anything. But
yeah. So did they just not do or announce anything last year? They just kind of. Chilled?
Yeah.
Oh no, Blizzard put out the WoW expansion. I guess that counts. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe they just had like individual trailers or something that they were doing, but yeah, it did not seem like they were. They said this was their first online only event, which leads me to believe they didn't do anything in 2020. They definitely didn't have an in-person BlizzCon last year. Yeah, and then we had on the 25th of February we had a Sony State of Play, which was, just kind of another one of their like, hey, these are some games that are coming out in the near future events. And lastly, which was like kind of a weirdly big thing online, was the Pokemon Presents, which was like a mini like Pokemon focused digital like showcase that Nintendo did yesterday. That was yesterday. It was really early in the morning, I think. I don't know. All I know is I woke up and was like, wait, when did this shit happen? So
yeah, that's how I felt about the stuff Square Enix announced, because like Sony did their thing and Final Fantasy was in that, and then it's like the next thing I knew, all this other stuff was announced and happened. I was like, when and where did any of this get announced? What?
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that.
Shit happens pretty fast.
A lot of news this week.
Games industry,
yeah,
keeping it fast and loose. Keeping us on our toes. Here, you want some new Pokemon? Here you go. You want some Stubbs the Zombie?
Yeah.
Here you go.
But only all in 1 month. It can't be consistent over a year.
Right. Yeah. You can't. They have to announce everything all at once. Well, actually, okay. So I was gonna say it's like they are trying to like prep you for the next few months in games, but most of the stuff that got announced in these last couple of weeks might not even come out in 2021. So anyway, let's start with the Nintendo Direct, because I think that one is like a bit of a, I don't want to say weird one, but it definitely, leading into this event, they said that most of this stuff was going to hit in the first half of 2021, and
right.
I guess that's true, but like the big things that they had to announce are not that. So I think we'll start with the thing that people are most interested in, which I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm not a Splatoon person, I'll say, but it's so Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
They announced that. I don't know. Does anybody have anything they
want? I can put in my thoughts and my experience with Splatoon. I didn't
Resident
play
Splatoon
the first
expert,
one
Chris
at
Crossley.
all. Yeah, that's me. I didn't play the first one at all. It happened for sure, and I didn't think anything of it or that it was popular, to be honest. I had no idea. But apparently it was very, very popular and did very, very well for Nintendo. and they kind of went all in with the second one, but focused more on the multiplayer, which I thought was kind of the focus anyway. I didn't know it had a story mode really, and so I got the second one and played it with Tran a lot. And my favorite thing about it was this like PvE mode they added that the first one didn't have, but they made it to where it was like a limited game mode you can only do once or twice a week for like a couple hours of those nights.
Right, that's right.
It
I
was
remember
super
that.
weird. Yeah, and so I ended up getting rid of it, but it actually did play really well and it was very fun. It's just, I don't know, it wasn't enough for me, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
and I don't understand why it's so popular, but I think it could be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they always seem like fine games for people who primarily want a multiplayer shooter with some kind of unique mechanics. I totally forgot that Splatoon 1 was a Wii U exclusive. Like it was a Wii U game, which is why I didn't play it, because
Right.
Why?
I mean, I had a Wii U and I still didn't play it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I remember the fervor behind Splatoon 1 being like pretty hot. Like, people were into that game, which was funny because I remember not anyone else I know, like, I had a Wii U for some reason, and I don't remember anybody else having a Wii U, so it was kind of hilarious how many people were into that. But
yeah, that's my thing too, is like, I didn't think the Wii U was big, so how could Splatoon itself be big?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Fan art community.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. People like squids.
I want to read a Splatoon lore wiki.
Yeah. There was some, like, I was kind of, you know, as soon as I saw the squid person, I was like, oh, time to do my dishes or something real quick during this presentation. But like, I remember glancing back and seeing like what looked like the Eiffel Tower upside down, buried in sand, and I was just like, is Splatoon universe? Yeah, is it a post-apocalyptic universe? Like, what is going on here?
I was extremely confused. I didn't like go anywhere while it was on. I just kind of watched, but I was just like, what the actual fuck is this game? Like,
it's like the Adventure Time style lore.
Yeah, it kind of is, honestly. Okay, well, I think that's probably enough.
That's enough of that.
That's enough of that. Moving on. Here, I also have what's up?
Did they announce the release date for that, or just that they're
They
doing
said
it?
2022.
Okay, whatever.
So just a very broad. Here it is.
Yeah.
I saw some people theorizing that maybe that will have a much bigger single-player component, which is why they were kind of focusing on the world building. But anyway, Mario Golf. Now people treated this like it was a pretty big reveal.
It is.
I guess because the last Mario Golf game was on the GameCube.
I didn't know that. I would have assumed it was on the Wii. I literally have no idea, but I just would have assumed they would have capitalized on the Wiimote being a golfing thing.
Yeah,
but maybe not.
TV breaker.
Yeah, the last console Mario Golf game was Toadstool Tour in 2003. They also released a GBA one in 2004 and then a 3DS one in 2014. So, if you're a console, which I guess the Switch is arguably still a handheld device, but if you're like a primarily home console player, it has been since 2003 since you had your Mario whacking balls with his stick.
Skeleton at the bottom of the lake meme.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, people were interested in this. I will say, I, as a kid, really liked golf games. I don't know why. There was something, like, very, like, even the Tiger Woods ones, like, there was just something very, like, I don't know, satisfying. It was, like, cozy. It was, like, kind of relaxing to just, like...
So did you ever play Mario Golf?
Yeah, I had the Toadstool Tour. I had the GameCube one. I might have played the N64 one. I honestly don't remember. But
yeah, that's the one I played. Like, me and I think my brothers had it, and when I would go visit them, we would all play, and like, I don't know, yeah, I remember it being surprisingly fun. I never cared after that point, but
Yeah.
I know people have been like really wanting one for a while now. I don't know if I'm like really that interested now, but you know,
Are they making a multiplayer, like online multiplayer?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely
You
online.
have to go to the country club with the boys.
Yeah. They should have like remember how Fighter Z had like that lobby where you just kind of wander around and
Exactly.
challenge people? It should be like that, but you're at like a country club and you like can drive golf carts around and crash into each other and get.
Isn't that what people do at golf clubs? Just
Hell
walk
yeah.
around challenging each other. Just to
Yeah,
golf
absolutely.
matches.
And then like, you know, like getting a little bit too drunk and like stumbling around and like knocking things over. Getting into a fist fight at the country club. Yes, this is what people do.
Florida things.
I've never been to a country club, so I'm just guessing, but it sounds right.
this is like my hope that it's like, oh shit, they're actually bringing Mario Golf back. Maybe they'll bring back the soccer game that I absolutely loved
Strikers?
both iterations of. Like,
Yeah.
yes, and they did something. Oh, they acquired the studio that made those games too, that actually developed those games. I mean, obviously Nintendo published those, but they bought the studio that actually made those games very recently. So I'm like very, very hoping that they're about to announce another Strikers.
Was it the same? Was it the same studio that made Mario Golf that made that, or?
I don't know the name. I'd have to look it up, but I know they've basically exclusively done stuff for Nintendo, so it kind of made sense for Nintendo to acquire them officially, but
yeah.
I can't remember what else they've worked on off the top of my head.
Interesting.
Oh, wait. It might be the new Mario Party and then something else. I could be wrong, but I think that might have been what they made them work on after Strikers, is the new Mario Party.
Interesting. Yeah, just a quick glance at this studio. It's called Camelot Software Planning, which is the most like we make video games in Japan name I've ever heard.
We make educational.
Yeah.
We make e-learning games.
According to this, they have been pretty much exclusively making Mario Nintendo games for the last, I don't know, 20-ish years.
Right.
But this studio is different. They did not make the Strikers game. This studio made the last Mario Tennis, the one that came out in 2018, as well as the last few Mario Tennis and Mario Golf games. So like including the Game Boy Advance one, and the GameCube one, as well as Golden Sun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. So, interesting. Definitely a pedigree there. But, yeah, people are super interested in this. I don't know. I mean, my understanding is, based on how Nintendo prices games now, this Mario Golf game will be $60, and it will not be worth $60 to me. So,
No.
$60. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. Imagine.
I want to take like a Metro down to like Indiana Dunes and just play Mario Golf for like the 2-hour train trip. That sounds really cozy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it absolutely does. Yeah, cool. So new Mario Golf game. They seem to think that game. It's coming out super soon. It comes out in June. So
I'll be looking forward to it.
June 25th.
Also, I looked it up. The developers that they acquired that made the Strikers game are called Next Level Games, and the game that I was thinking of that they made recently for Nintendo was the Luigi's Mansion.
Oh,
they made Luigi's Mansion 3. That's what they've been up to.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, you know,
Did people like that one?
Yes. Yeah, people like that game. Yeah, I didn't play it mostly because I haven't been too vibing with what Nintendo's been putting out the last let's say, I don't know, 3 or 4 years.
It feels like it's made for babies.
Yeah, I mean it literally is, right?
Yeah, no, I was not kidding.
Yeah.
Like I literally feel like I'm playing a baby game when I play new Nintendo games. It hurts me.
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey being a big exception. That one was a legitimately good time. I fucking love Mario Odyssey. Give me another one.
Okay. Yeah, you
I'm
can
just
have
saying,
that
as a
opinion.
platformer, like I don't really like platformers. That one was fun to throw the hat and bounce around and go up the platforms. Like it was a good
Possess
time.
people.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's
possess
right.
people.
Yeah, you could do that. That game's so fucking weird. That game was like a fever dream. I played it for like a couple days and enjoyed my time with it, but did not continue. So I don't know. Cool. Yeah, maybe give Crossley a Mario Strikers. You cowards.
Yeah, give me what I want. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing impressions now.
Am I good?
This is
No,
now an
man.
impressions
This is the wild card
podcast.
episode.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. I feel like this could have arguably been the biggest thing. I could have put this at the top of the list, but why start with the showstopper?
Hey.
Stubbs the Zombie. No. The Skyward Sword remake. What's up with that? Everybody is like, I feel like this is the biggest thing, mostly because everyone has a really strong opinion about Skyward Sword. It's either absolute
Fair
shit
enough.
or it's like very good. Like
Isn't that every Zelda game though? There's like people that hate Majora's Mask, but that's also like the favorite game for Zelda weirdos. I've heard. I don't know anything about Zelda fandom, but through like podcasts.
I thought Skyward Sword was unanimously the worst, and nobody liked it. I didn't know there were any fans of it.
I mean, I feel
Was
like,
that the Wiimote one?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are two Wiimote ones technically, if you count Twilight Princess, but yeah. I mean, I think there is a subset of Zelda fan that we do not interact with regularly, which is the person who loves Zelda no matter what it is. I think that that person exists, right? I mean, that's just a fact of life. And you know, when they choose to leave Tumblr, they are very vocal about their love for Zelda.
Yeah. I mean, they'll literally go to the grave saying Breath of the Wild is the greatest video game ever made, as if like.
Which, I mean, this is a hot take maybe, but Breath of the Wild is the best Zelda game. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't.
Amen
I mean,
to that statement,
it is the best
sure.
Zelda game. I don't know why anyone would think otherwise. I used to think it was Wind Waker, but honestly, as I've ruminated on Breath of the Wild, that game is the best. It's the best Zelda game. It's the most interesting.
I think Wind Waker is the one I've played the most.
It's a good fucking game. And I mean, a lot of people were hoping that they would do the Mario, what was it, Mario 35 or whatever the fuck, the anniversary collection where they like put all the Mario games together, or 25 or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know.
I wouldn't count it out yet, man. It's, you know.
Well, I mean, but this sort of seems to discount that. They could still, of course, they could do anything they want. But like,
you remember that thing they put out on the GameCube, and it was like, I don't even remember how you got it, but it had all the Zelda games up until that point. I feel like they will. Yeah, I feel like they will put that out again. Honestly, I think that exact thing for the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could.
$60. You have 5 months to buy it, or it's gone forever.
But like, you know,
easy money.
People did not receive that Mario collection very highly. Like $60 for those 3 Mario games. It was Mario 64, it was Sunshine, and it was Mario Galaxy 1. And $60 for those games is kind of pretty steep. And they didn't. All they did was emulate them. They didn't really do any special work.
No.
Mario 64 received no upgrades whatsoever. No quality of life changes. That game is in 3x4. Sorry, 4x3. Yeah, it's I don't know why I said 3x4. I don't know why that came out. Imagine imagine a 3x4 aspect ratio.
That was there has to be like a handheld that had that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was what was that handheld that was also a cell phone? That was like the Engage. Yeah, that was the 3x4 aspect ratio for sure. Because they just did everything wrong.
Oh man.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I didn't play Skyward Sword. This is not even a joke. I have a shrink wrap copy of Skyward Sword somewhere. Like
With the
Next to your
Wiimote
Stadia.
inside? Like that
no.
copy?
It was the
Oh.
version that came out later that didn't have the Wiimote Plus with it. But
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, dude, you should fucking hold on to that.
yeah, no. I think this was. Did they do like a greatest hits version? I don't know. Yeah, I have a shrink wrap copy of Skyward Sword that I never opened and never played. And I never played that game. And everyone seems to, think that it's at the very least the most hand-holdy of the Zelda, like the most railroaded. Like, here's an overwrought tutorial that you don't really want, that tells you literally everything to do for the first like 6 hours of that game. Which is how I felt about Twilight Princess. So I didn't finish Twilight Princess either. I didn't like that game, but I don't know.
Yeah, if Skyward Sword is even worse about that, then that is really bad. That's crazy. The only experience I have with that is my roommate that I live with now played it when I used to live with him in Florida, and I watched him play it, and it looked horrible, and he was not having a good time while playing it. So I'm definitely never gonna play or buy that game.
Insert Yeah. You had me the first time. I'm not gonna lie. Insert the yo. I'm straight up not having a good time meme. Yeah. I mean, I'm curious. I guess I want to see what people say about this because they added non-motion controls to this game. So
Oh, really?
You can play it just regular. Yeah, because they have to do that because the Switch Lite exists, so they can't make everything motion controls because their kind of mandate is, hey, we want every game to work on every Switch console. So,
they also might not overly tutorialize it because motion controls are a relatively well-known experience now. So they might not feel the pressure to over-explain things that people that are playing it are probably more familiar with now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they didn't really get in, or I mean, based on what I saw, they didn't really get into the nitty gritty on if they were changing things or pretty much leaving it untouched. But beyond the control scheme. But we'll see. I mean, did they have a release date for that? I thought they did. I'm scrolling up here.
I feel like that's one of the sooner things.
Yeah,
right?
July 16th. So we'll know we'll have uploaded maybe one more episode between now and then. So we'll know. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see about that. They also really quickly. This is just a quick hit because I'm a No More Heroes fan. I like No More Heroes. It's a cool game. I thought that first game was funny when it came out. I thought it was pretty funny. I don't know if that's true now because I was like 10. But I didn't play the second one, so. But No More Heroes 3 has a release date. I think this is the first time they've given it one. Or if it had one before, I didn't know. But they put up a trailer and a release date of August 27th for No More Heroes 3. So I'll probably play that. I'm surprised they didn't do like a remake of the first two on the Switch. But
still time.
Yeah, there is still time.
Didn't they put out a No More Heroes in between 2 and 3?
They did, yeah. It was it was like a mini game kind of thing. It was like a top-down
spin-off, I guess.
Yeah, spin-off is a good way to put it. It's what is that thing called? Travis Strikes Again.
Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Oh, again. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. People, you know what? For as uninteresting as that thing looked to me, people who like No More Heroes said, like in terms of the story, it was actually pretty interesting. Like it was almost like a self-insert for Suda 51, kind of not really understanding how to continue the series. Almost like it was like his like unsure of this like random huge hit that he has and like that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just talking because I'm just saying I'm parroting what I heard, but
right.
And then this is something that interests me at least somewhat because I'm a tactics ogre. and Final Fantasy Tactics fan, but Project Triangle Strategy, which they should just keep that name. I don't know, it's stupid as fuck. They should just leave it.
Kingdom Hearts sequel.
Dude, when I saw the fucking name, I was just like, can you guys just not?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, who knows? But this is the Octopath. This is the Octopath Traveler, guys, right?
Yes.
Same art style, pretty much. It looks a little sharper, I think, but.
Yeah. Did you play Octopath?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
I don't know why, but.
I did.
Okay.
I never realized, but they ported Octopath to PC at some point
They did.
as well.
Yeah, they
which
did.
is fucking awesome. I never finished it, so I'm thinking I'll cop it on sale one day and hopefully maybe do that. But I played Octopath, very good time. You control 8 characters. I don't know if that was like a known thing. I don't know. I didn't know much about it when I went into it. I just liked how it looked.
Yeah.
But you basically kind of, if I recall, get to choose how you, or like when and how you would progress them to their next thing. And it's like, once they've all reached like a certain level, then you'll unlock more of the map and you can like progress their stories, and they're all sort of eventually going to come together somehow. I didn't get to that part, but it was really, really good. And my only complaint, which seems to be what this new game is going to fix, is that it was just too simple. It was a turn-based RPG, and there wasn't much going on with the meta there. It was just like, once you knew what you needed to do, it was just about figuring out the weaknesses and stuff. And it was just a little too simple and got repetitive. But this new game, like the tactics vibes, like the more just going on with the gameplay in general to hopefully keep it more interesting throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so ready.
It's worth saying that there is a demo out like right now.
Oh yeah,
so
I keep forgetting to play
it.
it.
You could download and play it if you want. I'm not much of a demo person, especially if it's a game that I think I will play. Like I think I tend to avoid demos because I'm like, I don't want to retread ground or whatever. But there's a demo out there of Project Triangle Strategy if you would like to try it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in this. I'm not a JRPG person, so that's why I didn't get Octopath. Even though like it's one of those things that it looked cool enough that I at least wanted to experience a little bit of it, but I knew it was a game I wouldn't finish because I am just so fucking like at a certain point, one of two things happens in a JRPG. Either it does that huge thing that like Lost Odyssey is like my biggest example of a game where it's like, okay, this game's fucking really cool, and then I get to a point and it's like, boom, motherfucker, boss battle, and then I get railed for like an hour straight, just sitting there fucking trying to play the same battle over and over again, and I'm dying, and I feel like I have nothing I can do, and then my only option is to reload an earlier save and like grind and get prepared, or stop playing the game, and I always choose stop playing the game. I'm sorry. Fuck that. It's just shit just comes out of nowhere and fucks you in JRPGs, and I don't like that. So
yeah, very true.
Yeah, I always think there's like this fucking thing like 4 hours into Lost Odyssey. I remember buying that game when it came out. It's like a big ass bird on a mountain, and I suck at JRPGs, so I just remember like the bird like shows up and you're just fighting it and it just fucks you relentlessly. It's like just a huge difficulty spike in that early in that game, and I was just like, man, fuck this. Yeah, JRPG is not for me. So this game being like a kind of a tactical strategy game like Fire Emblem or Tactics Ogre, whatever, I'm a little more interested for sure. Yeah, and then couple of quick things. These last 3 games are all re-releases, but of kind of varying interest. So they did Famicom Detective Club, which is apparently a series of like visual novels that actually came out on the Famicom, and never released in North America. And then they just randomly decided to release these. I only bring this up because that's kind of cool. Like, imagine a game from like from like 30 years ago, and they're just like, here it is. We've redone all the art. Like, what? It's so weird. Yeah, they like, it's like an HD re-release of these games that never came out in North America and no one was asking for. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of cool. I don't know. It's
How did to do that with all the weird like Japan only PS1 and PS2 games?
yeah. I mean, honestly, if anything, this just brings to light the fact that there shouldn't still be games that never came to North America, right? Like if anything, now there is an audience for all of that shit. Even if back then maybe there wasn't, or they thought there wasn't a reason to port that stuff. Like, gaming has...
You guys heard of
what?
Kingsgate?
Kingsgate.
I think that's what it's called. It's something like that. It's like one of the early From Software games, and it was like a PlayStation 1
Kingsfield?
like first person
Kingsfield.
Yo,
those some of the Kingsfield games did come out in North America. Okay. Yeah, some of them did. I don't know if all of them did, but some of them did. There's actually a pretty big there's a lot of like Kingsfield spin-offs, or like From Software random spin-off games that were like set in that same kind of universe or whatever. There's like a third-person action game or something. I don't know. Yeah,
Wait, is Patches in Kingsfield? Because Patches is in that mech game they made.
The Moonlight Greatsword is definitely in Kingsfield.
Yeah. I don't know if Patches is, but that would be hilarious if that's the case. Yeah, listen, watching gameplay of Kingsfield makes me confidently say there's nothing you could tell me that would make me play Kingsfield. I'm sorry. That game looks like it runs at like 15 FPS. Like, I mean, it's literally if Blighttown was the entire game. Like, it's fucked up. And yeah, I mean, it's cool that those games exist as like a proto, like, hey, this is what they started to work towards for Souls games, but
agreed.
I'm sorry, my time is too valuable to spend wrestling in an emulator trying to get this fucking game to work.
Yeah, we need a Kingsfield remastered.
Hell yeah, Kingsfield. Let's do a remake. Let's just fully remake that one. Let's put it in a new engine, in Unreal Engine 4 or 5, whatever one we're on now. Throw that bad boy into the Unreal Engine blender. You know, send out some new fucking procedurally generated roguelike levels where you're just like going through a random fucking tunnel, because that's all those games look like. You're just in a tunnel all the time. Where's the surface?
The Chalice Dungeon.
Yeah, it literally is.
First-person Chalice Dungeon.
Yeah. Cool. And then the last two things of the Nintendo Direct were a Stubbs the Zombie re-release, which it looks like they literally did nothing to this game. Like, it doesn't look like they touched it at all. Which is worth noting that this is an Aspyr media joint. So, like, Aspyr, I mostly knew of Aspyr because they would do ports of other games, which is still what they're doing now here. Like, namely, they used to port most of the things that were on PC to Mac, funnily enough.
Oh.
So, like, I just...
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Not all heroes wear capes.
It's true. Somebody's got to do it.
This was like Valve's motto in 2007.
Yeah.
Or 2009.
It really is. Yeah, I mean, that's how I knew of them, but they... like, here we go. Just as an example, they ported Battlefield 1942 from Windows to Mac. Like, they've been doing this for a long time. I remember playing their Civ 3 port. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
I played TF2 on my Mac.
Nice. I don't think they did that one. Something tells me Valve did that one themselves. But, yeah, so, Aspyr. Also, they got bought out, by Embracer Group, who is the same people who bought, Borderlands, Gearbox. Yeah. Gearbox got bought recently by a company called Embracer Group, which is a very serious sounding name, like Embracer. It
Yeah,
sounds
not
like
as fun as the
2K?
Japanese game studios.
So did
No.
they
I guess
buy
they're
it from 2K, or did 2K not actually
I guess
own?
my understanding is maybe 2K was just publishing those games and Gearbox owned. But
Good on them, dude, to not let 2K own Borderlands.
I mean,
if that's the case, like, holy shit.
yeah, I guess. I mean, fuck, man. It's not like Gearbox has done any better with it. Borderlands 3 was pretty not fun.
Really? I feel like that's the most fun one.
I mean, I tried really hard.
So much controversy in this episode.
Yeah, no, I didn't think that game was. I mean, I think they steadily got worse. 1 was my favorite, and then I didn't like 2 that much, and then I liked 3.
I thought
even
they got
less.
worse until 3. I thought 2 and pre-sequel weren't, like,
Yeah.
they didn't iterate enough for me to really have as good of a time as I did when 1 came out. Like, that was a
thing.
like top tier experience for its time, for sure.
I agree.
Then 2 and pre-sequel was not. And then 3 felt like the first time they really kicked it up a notch. And I had a good time.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. I mean, I didn't put that much time into it, so maybe I'm just like making a snap judgment. But
Did you play it alone?
No.
Okay, because that is definitely not fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
just wanna make
wouldn't. I
sure.
wouldn't recommend that. No, I think I played it with Tyler. I don't know. That's probably my mistake.
I played it with you guys. It
Yeah.
was. I didn't like it very much, but I've also.
Yeah.
I liked Borderlands 1 a lot, but that was just like playing it with my friend in our room,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we
Like-
were children. Like,
split screen.
it was easy. We were easier to please then.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think Borderlands 1 was actually special. Like, it was unique at the time that it
Yeah.
came out. The thing about Borderlands 3 is whether or not it's good, it's kind of just more of that same idea. Maybe just
That is
done
true.
better. So I
Yeah,
think
that
that's
is true.
and looter shooters have come out since then. Like, I mean, we have Destiny, like, which I think is kind of
Yeah.
the same game, but in my opinion, a little bit better. But
That I agree. Man, Destiny still like is such a good feeling shooter. It blows my mind how they like got it
yeah,
to feel so good. Like, I don't know.
it's funny because they are like at least 75% of the way to a really amazing game, and they just fuck up the last 25% so bad. I can't even believe it. Like, what are they doing? I mean, I'm not a game developer, so maybe I'm making it sound easier than it actually is. But I feel like just write a decent story, which they haven't done yet, and make some fucking missions. Like, what? Like, why is it that their games are for some reason 6 hours long, and then they expect you to play those same 6 hours the same, but
I
fucking
don't get it
harder
either,
or
man.
in reverse?
And why
or
do
whatever.
people do it?
Yeah.
Like, I had fun when I played through it, and then I stopped. Why
Yeah.
do people?
Yeah.
I know people on my friends list to this day still playing Destiny. It's like, what?
And then they
They
released an
literally
expansion.
just took out content.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that shit's crazy too. The Vault, dude. They just released an expansion for Destiny that is like 5 campaign missions long, and then you just kind of do some other random shit. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, and it's like $60. I don't know. Okay, I'm done. I'm stopping. We got to move on before somebody writes in hate mail. Please write us hate mail. Let us know you're out there listening. Yeah, and then the last thing is just they're putting Ninja Gaiden on the Switch. I like Ninja Gaiden. That's why I'm bringing that up. This is a self-serving one. Crossley doesn't like Ninja Gaiden.
I'm actually. It's kind of funny. I was thinking recently, actually, as I was literally like, why haven't they ported those games to newer consoles? But why the Switch, man? Like, I honestly feel like the Switch can't run those games well. I don't even know why I think that, other than I've just been really disappointed in it lately. Like,
These
as
games are
hardware,
older
it
than you
seems-
think, so I get the feeling.
No, they
that
are.
I
I
think
know.
At least 1 and 2 will be a 60 FPS experience. I hope it should be. I mean, there's no other way to play those games. Let's be honest. Like, you can't play a Ninja Gaiden game at 30 FPS. You just can't. Those games,
Yeah.
like, literally, Ninja Gaiden is known for being brutally difficult, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because, I used to think that too, and then I went back and realized it's kind of just like Dark Souls. Like, they just beat you into the ground in the same ways. They expect you to kind of memorize what enemies can do and the capabilities of the people you're running up against. There's really challenging boss battles that have huge difficulty spikes, and like if you die to them, you gotta kind of, you know, go a decent way to get back to it. Like it's yeah. I played.
That was always the kind of vibe I got when Dark Souls was newer. Is like that's kind of what I referred it to in my mind. It's like, oh, this is like a newer Ninja Gaiden in the sense that the challenge is what is really appealing about it, because the gameplay itself is also satisfying. So it's like, similar in that vein.
Yeah, I would be interested to try these games again. I don't know if it'll be on the Switch, to be honest. I'm kind of that tiny screen. Yeah. I say that, but I'm playing Dark Souls 1 on the Switch right now, so I'm clearly a fucking dumbass.
And they only are doing that for the Switch, to be clear. They're not.
That's all they announced it for so far. At least that I've seen. I mean, we can. Let me fire up the old
on PC.
Google
like,
here.
Can you buy Ninja Gaiden as the old version of it on PC?
No, not on PC. I own Ninja Gaiden Black as a backwards compatible game on Xbox. Yeah, because on Xbox One X it runs pretty nice. Like it feels good.
Oh yeah.
But let's see.
And they let you download that, right? Basically?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can download that. Yes, according to this. Oh, I gotta pick my language. Now I gotta enter my birthday. Talk amongst yourselves.
What is Ninja Gaiden Z?
What are you, Tyler? Come on, man. You can't get away with that shit. Okay, I'm looking at it right here. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, June 10th, 2021. PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Steam. So, yeah, it's coming out on everything. Apparently, they just announced it as part of the Direct.
Yeah, I was sitting there and I was just like, I literally wanted this to happen, but just not on my Switch. Like, just why the Switch? All right, so cool. Yeah. I'm happier now.
So apparently, they're releasing Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, which are the re-releases of the original games, I should note. Okay. So, like, Sigma was it says that here in parentheses, they released it in 2007. So it must be a re-release of the original game, like maybe like a 360 port or something like that.
Okay.
I'm a little weary of that, actually, because I think Ninja Gaiden Black was like the version of that game.
What was Black? What is Black versus Sigma? Like, what's the difference?
So, Ninja Gaiden was the original Xbox game, the one that came out. Ninja Gaiden Black was a slightly modified version of that game that added, most importantly, an easy mode. Because the first Ninja Gaiden didn't have a difficulty setting. It was basically just like, this is what you get, and it was really hard. And I remember Ninja Gaiden Black gave you the option to set an easier difficulty. And then it also changed some things. It added like an extra little campaign where you play as a different character and some other stuff. And then Sigma was a 360 port of maybe Black. I don't know.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope it would be Black.
I saw some people saying that Sigma 2 was a worse version of 2. But I don't know. Yeah. People just be saying shit. I don't know. Why do developers do this? Why do they like release 9 versions of their game and then expect us to keep track?
I can't remember which one I've played. I've only played one of them, and it was 2 or 3, and I have no idea. I won't know until I play it again. But I had such a good time. I was not good enough at video games to beat it back then, but I feel like I could do it now, and hopefully it runs smoothly enough to where like the graphics don't bother me, because they're not like doing anything to it. It's just gonna run better, basically. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I would hope, because like that was the thing about Ninja Gaiden was, I think if I remember correctly, 3 ran really bad at launch. Like it like had like massive frame drops. So I mean, I would hope that they would kind of tool around with it a little bit, but tough to say.
Yeah, I am excited to try them out again, though.
Yeah, I agree. It should be cool. The website is unhelpful. It literally just tells you the games that are coming out and pretty much nothing else. So,
Love it.
Yeah, they look like they haven't really touched much of the graphics looking at these screenshots. But yeah, okay. And then that's pretty much it for me for the Nintendo Direct. We managed to talk about that for a lot longer than I expected.
Hey, you know us.
We're just big Nintendo fans.
Big, huge Nintendo fans over here. I bought Paper Mario for the Switch and then didn't even play it.
Well,
Hey, was Ty the Tasmanian Tiger on GameCube?
Yeah, I think that was a multi-plat. I think it was 3. It was GameCube, Xbox, and PS2, if I remember
I
correctly.
had a dream about that game recently, and I couldn't remember what platform I played it on.
What was the dream?
I was just playing the game.
That was it? You weren't like
Yeah.
in the game?
No.
wasn't a nightmare.
You weren't. Were you fucking the tiger, dude?
Oh my god. Yes.
Hey, yeah. Yeah.
The
Not a
first
bad-
furry game.
I didn't play Tasmanian Terror. Anyway, 2 days later, BlizzCon. BlizzCon happened. They called it BlizzCon Line. I don't like that name.
No.
I actually kind of like it. It's like it's like the movie store kind of thing.
Do not give away our fucking... Stop.
Please censor it with dolphin noises.
BlizzCon Line. All right. I was hoping Tyler would be here because he's the only person who plays WoW to talk about the WoW shit. But anyway, the most important thing that happened at BlizzCon Line, I hate the name. It trips me up every time. BlizzCon Line.
Wait, is it one word? I didn't.
It literally is one word. Yeah, it's one
Oh, now I don't like it.
Yeah. The most important thing that happened is the Diablo 4 Rogue trailer. I think they announced a class for Diablo 4, which normally wouldn't. I mean, I feel like something like this wouldn't be that cool, except for the fact that those motherfuckers know how to make a CG trailer. Like,
Yeah, facts.
the prevailing theory about the Warcraft movie is that they should have just made it themselves in CG instead of doing an actual movie. Because
Facts. I guess I didn't realize they didn't. I
No.
honestly thought they did.
nope.
Yeah, that's
They did
news
not.
to me also.
They did not. Yeah, I mean they know how to make a trailer. It looks insanely good. It's like a woman like sitting. You know, they do that meme where somebody sits in a pew behind someone else at a church and they have a conversation over each other's shoulder. They do one of those, and she just keeps putting severed ears on the pew next to the guy, and you realize, like, you think she's like confessing, but then you realize the guy is the one who's telling her to kill these people, because then he puts the ears in a locker with a bunch of other ears. Yeah, it's crazy. There's like a really close-up shot of him putting a fish hook through an ear, and it is nasty and also cool. So yeah, anyway, and then they show some of the game, and the game looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks like Diablo.
Yeah, I
but
watched the gameplay. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, it looks good. Cool.
yeah, I'll play it. Like, which is more than I like felt like I would have thought, because I feel like I didn't like Diablo 3 really that much. Yeah. It left me feeling like they could have done better. But
Yeah, for sure. It was like it was like a newer experience of that, but a shallower one at the same time. I don't know why they didn't just go all out.
yeah. I mean, the feeling I had at the time was that it, they took out stats, right? That was a big thing. In Diablo 2, you could allocate stat points. They took that out in favor of like perks or some kind of, I don't know, fucking, yeah. And yeah, I felt like by the end of the campaign, I was kind of done with it, which is not how I felt. Like I played Diablo 2 for years after that game came out. So,
Right.
Speaking of,
Mm-hmm.
Diablo 2 Resurrected officially announced HDification of Diablo 2.
Yeah, what all I actually didn't see. I knew that was happening, but I didn't like watch the video for that. What how upgradey is it getting exactly? Like, is it look
Enough
the exact same or no, not at all?
enough that you go, oh, that looks really nice, but not so much that it feels like a new game. So they're doing the Master Chief Collection style, where it's the same engine that the game was made in. So it's still the Diablo 2 engine. It runs on the same basic framework, and it looks kind of like it does. Like the movement and everything about it feels a little stiff, kind of like how Diablo 2 did. But the biggest difference is that they've basically overhauled all the visuals therein. So all the textures, character models, effects, everything like that. They're also,
man. I bet people are really happy about this then.
yeah. I mean, it's the same game, but it runs. I think they're making it run on modern hardware, and they kept it. They kept it. They kept what people wanted about that game. So, but it's funny. I feel like it's going to be like a WoW Classic thing, where like I'll go back and play it like I did WoW Classic, and then go, oh yeah, there's a reason that we've moved past this.
That's basically how I feel about remasters in general. It's like some of them get me, but it's always
Depends on the game.
Usually the exact same thing. Where it's just like, oh yeah, we don't make 20-year-old games in the present day for a reason.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, and actually Diablo 2 is literally 20 years old, right? It was 2001,
so
I think.
Around
something
there,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see about that. But I get the feeling that I'm going to try that game and then maybe not be as enthused about its existence as I am right now.
Right.
But, and then,
did that and 4 get a release? I can't remember.
Oh yeah,
that one or 4.
4 does not have a release.
Okay.
That's kind of a when it happens.
Yeah.
Resurrected. I don't see a release for Resurrected here either. So, let me Google it. I'm looking at this IGN article. And they do not provide this information. So
yeah, it just says this year.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they didn't want to be too specific. But
yeah.
And I mean, looking at the graphics side by side, it does look a lot better. Like they have actually this is kind of cool. They have like a little slider on the website where they have like a GIF playing in the background, and you can like slide it back and forth while it's in motion to see the changes.
That's cool. Yeah.
It looks a lot clearer, but it's funny. It's like how remasters often work, where in your mind's eye you're like, yeah, this is how I remember it looking, and then you look at the old version, you're like, oh.
Yep.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm I'll play. I will play it. I honestly will play it. So there's that. B Paul seems really excited about that, but he didn't want to be here, so fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I'm interested in that. And then, the last big thing about BlizzCon was they're doing the thing that I think everybody kind of thought they would. They're going to release the expansions for World of Warcraft Classic, kind of in the same cadence that they did originally. So they're doing a Burning Crusade Classic expansion, which is basically like, that.
So I just want to get this straight.
Yeah, go ahead.
WoW
Please.
Classic essentially is literally vanilla WoW. Like
There are
it's some weird niche thing like that people wanted. Like I just
some-
want to make sure.
Like RuneScape Classic.
some-
Like it's not right, and it's not some like updated vanilla WoW. It's,
Yeah, the
like,
one everybody's
literally
playing.
vanilla WoW.
some sicko
RuneScape.
shit. That's how you sound right now. You're like, let me get this straight. These sickos are playing WoW just like how it came out in 2004.
All right, and so, but what I'm trying to get at is this Burning Crusade going to be like its own classic release, or they're literally updating WoW Classic in a natural progression?
They're
Because
upgrading
that's weird to me.
both.
Oh,
So, Burning Crusade Classic will be available, and it's basically it will add everything they added in the expansion of Burning Crusade.
mm-hmm.
If you want, however, you can also just stay in WoW Classic in vanilla and not have to play any of that shit. So
I think that's cool then.
yeah.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna get into WoW. That's just gonna be my thing.
I mean,
now.
dude,
like,
people make an entire life out of just getting into WoW. So you
I
can.
mean,
just,
I work from home. I can just
Yeah, dude. Let me actually,
just play while I'm working.
if you'd like to have a game that you don't have to play but can still progress in, allow me to offer you EVE Online. Our leading spreadsheet simulator where you can, watch the numbers go up in real time, except you don't have to do anything. You can just click a few
But I
buttons.
do need a second monitor.
You do need a second monitor, yeah. Or actually, I think EVE is on mobile now, so you can just download it on your phone.
Okay. I'll get a Vasa mount for my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wish somebody who played WoW was here to tell me if they care about this or not. But I liked Burning Crusade. It was a cool expansion. Wrath of the Lich King is the best expansion in my opinion. But Burning Crusade was cool. I remember really liking it when it came out originally, and I wish I had the patience to level up a classic WoW character. But I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have that kind of time. It takes a long time. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it definitely would have been super strange to me if they were like basically forcing WoW Classic to naturally go through its expansions all over again. I'm just gonna be like, what?
I mean, they kind of are doing that, except it's optional now. You're not forced along for the ride. But yeah, they are. I get the feeling in another couple of years they'll do.
Oh yeah.
Wrath of the Lich King, and whatever. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people want to relive the glory days. When WoW Classic was coming out, I remember being like, oh man, like I really liked WoW, and then it got too complicated, right? Like it became too much. And the reality of it is that a lot of changes were positive, but the ones that you remember the most are the negative ones, right? Like I remember when Cataclysm happened, thinking that was the worst decision they'd ever made. Now nobody really fucking cares. I mean, it's like, whatever. Oh, Orgrimmar's always looked like this. No, it hasn't. You fuck. Used to be beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely play some, and I'll say this till the day I die, some classic League servers. I tell you what, I'll play season 2 or 3 again in a heartbeat, bro.
They should do that.
Day.
They should do that.
Agreed.
Yeah, they actually
At
should.
least
That's a
season
good
3.
idea.
It's like the perfect season.
It's kind of like TF2 has classic servers where you can play like vanilla TF2.
Oh, I think about that all the time.
Yeah. Those exist. The problem is that nobody plays them because turns out what you don't want is vanilla TF2. What you want is like 4 patches in TF2. That's
like 2008, like when there was like new maps and stuff, like Sawmill.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
Okay, let's move on. The day is February 25th, 2021, and Sony holds their State of Play. A lot of people are really looking forward to this. So I have not finished the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's mostly for this reason. Because I kept thinking that they would release a patch.
Sure.
They're doing it. They're releasing what they are calling the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. It is a PS5 patch for Final Fantasy VII Remake that puts it up to 60 frames per second, which I think would make that game feel good, you know? Like some
I wonder if
snappy-
Sarah knows about that. I
It's
need to
nice.
tell her.
She's probably already finished that game. It's too
I
late.
mean,
You're too late.
No, she hasn't. I asked her about her progress today. She is not.
Oh, okay.
I
You
mean,
know-
that like slider they did where it was like not impressive at some times where they were showing the new
The new
version, but then
graphics?
there was a few scenes where like you could really see how smooth and stuff it was, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah, I thought it was really funny when they did the side-by-sides and they're like, PS4, PS5, and I was like, this looks the fucking same.
yeah.
But
Especially that close up of Cloud.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
saw that meme floating around Twitter.
Yeah, it was like corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same fucking picture. It looks the same, but that's okay because that game already looked fucking amazing.
Yeah.
All it needs is 60 FPS. That's really like that 60 FPS patch for Ghost of Tsushima convinced me to get every trophy for that game. Like when I say
Did
every
you?
trophy, I have there's 2 I'm missing. There's 2 I'm missing, but they're hidden and I don't know how to get them.
Why aren't we playing the multiplayer?
I don't
What
want to look
happened?
it up. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should.
All right, talk to me after this.
Put my.
I still haven't played it. I still haven't played it at all, so I need to.
What do you even do in the multiplayer of that?
It's like a 4-player
Um,
co-op dungeon raid thingy. It's cool.
Like a chalice dungeon?
There's a story that's
Yeah.
2-player and a survival that's 4-player, and I don't know if they added the raids yet, but they're doing raids at some point. I hope
Yeah.
those are added by now. I think they are. I think they added the raids. I don't know what those are though. That happened after I played it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what they fucking added is a vendor at every random, like I would go to all, because I was trying to 100% the map, and I did. I liberated every base, and I found every fucking collectible. I found every hot spring. I did everything. And then
Jeez.
they I uncovered every question mark on that map, and they added some guy who sits there and goes, play the multiplayer into the game. And like he shows up randomly at like some of those question marks. I'd be like, all right, what is this question mark? A fucking Inari shrine? And then I get there and it's a guy going, long ago, 4 spirits dared to defeat the demons. And I'm like, what?
That's
I mean,
so fucking funny.
is this all you're here for? And then if you talk to him, it's like, yo, you want to play the multiplayer? It's fucking stupid. Yeah. Anyway.
I want Yakuza to do something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Yakuza multiplayer would be next level. So Final Fantasy VII with 60 FPS might be enough to make me want to play that game, because I think that game felt pretty good, but it could feel better. Like it's a little sluggish. Yeah, so maybe I'll go back and finish it. They're also adding. I saw some people were mad about this, but the DLC, the Yuffie DLC, is only on PS5. So
It's definitely weird, unless what I was about to say literally doesn't make sense, so I'm not going to say it. But that was kind of weird. The whole situation with that and the upgrade is all weird. Like if you claim the game on PS Plus, which they announced after all of this that it's
Yeah.
going to be the PS Plus game.
Yeah.
If you claim it via PS Plus, you cannot upgrade
Upgrade,
it. Period.
yeah.
You would have to buy it again as a PS5 version.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And then if you've already bought it, you can upgrade for free and just have to spend like $5 on the new DLC or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird, but
It makes sense. I think that stuff makes sense to me. I think the where they get me is like there are a lot of people who can't get a PS5 and who maybe won't be able to get a PS5 until June, right? And are those people are going to feel really left in the fucking lurch on that Yuffie DLC. I mean, it's a separate little campaign starring Yuffie and a new character.
yeah.
And it's basically, it runs kind of concurrently, it seems, with the main story. And then maybe adds some lore and stuff here and there. And yeah, I mean, it adds to that experience, and people who have that game on PS4 and who only have a PS4 won't be able to play it. And that's weird. That's a very strange decision, I think. But
I thought it was strange too. Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
yeah, it's interesting, but I don't know. Well, you know what though? What it could be really funny. It could be like a monkey's paw situation where it's like people are like, "Yes, we want DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake," and then this Yuffie DLC turns out to suck. Like the monkey's paw curls, and it's like 3 hours of really mediocre gameplay. It's
That's
like whatever.
100% what I'm worried about is it's just gonna suck.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Or it's amazing and it pisses people off even more.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely possible. Yuffie is, listen, Yuffie's pretty cute, so I mean, that's.
Dude, do you think you can fucking beat Tifa or Aerith? Like they went so in on making them fucking wives. Like, oh my god, all the budget went into making them. Fucking,
I will say, Tifa
wifeable.
is like. I remember playing that game and just being like, this is bullshit. Like, I just remember getting mad that this person didn't exist in real life. Like,
I know,
I was just
if you don't like one, you like the other. Like, they literally fuck you. No
I was
matter
like,
what.
Send her money.
Yeah, dude, I was like, bro, I should be able to PayPal donate to fucking Tifa. No, I don't.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
If you look hard enough.
Yeah. No, it's... And that, what's fucked up though is I will say my least favorite part about that announcement. I was like, cool, good. Maybe like they showed the Yuffie stuff and then they put a release date up, and I was like, okay, June 10th on the Yuffie shit, but the patch is coming out soon, right? 60 FPS patch soon. No, they're doing it all at once. June 10th? I gotta wait till June? Like.
Yeah, I empathize with that because it's like a bunch of PS5 upgrades were coming out recently. Like God of War got one, and I forget the others, but Avengers is about to get one. So it's like, oh, maybe I'll play that finally.
Days Gone.
And then I was, and then June kind of it feels bad, especially because I think I'll be playing Ratchet and Clank at that point. So it's like,
yeah, here's hoping that game doesn't suck shit.
I know, man. I know.
Cool. So we got that. Kena, Bridge of Spirits. That game looks pretty.
Yes. That is something I agree with. I don't know I'm going to think about that game until I get to try it or see more of it or something. I don't know.
I saw a story. I saw an article published today that said it was going to be like $40.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not a full price game. It looks nice.
Yeah.
I forgot about this game.
I'm interested, but not sure how I'll like it, I guess. But.
Yeah, I had forgotten about this game until I saw this trailer, and then they showed some of the environments and some of the gameplay, and I was like, wow, it runs like shit right now, but it's also not out yet, so they could polish it up between now and then. But also, like, it looks really nice. Like, the art direction, the environments, like, it looks like a next-gen game. It's very pretty. Yeah, it's cool. I'll play that. It comes out in August 24th. They showed off more Returnal, which is a bad name.
Yeah. It is a weird name. I don't know if I dislike it, but I definitely don't like it. It's just like you can tell they were in the room trying to figure out the name, and some guy's like Returnal, and then they're all like,
It sounds like a WWE funded film.
Yeah. It's it sounds like a student science fiction movie. That somebody What?
So what I realized though in this state of play is that I don't think I knew what that game was at all. And is it basically a roguelike but really fucking AAA looking?
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, it is. So
I'm totally in then.
That's what's really funny is I was watching the Giant Bomb like talks over this presentation, and some people said that, and I was like, I thought that was clear. Like I had remember seeing the gameplay for this a while ago and being like, okay, this is what this game is. I don't know, but apparently a lot of people feel the same way you do, which is that they had no idea this is what this game was.
Yeah, I think it was just a mix of it being this AAA look, the cinematics they had given us, and then seeing the gameplay. It was like a weird, like my brain was literally thinking it was something else because there's not a AAA like roguelike, collect different loot every time, have new abilities game like that. So like my brain just wasn't putting the pieces together right. But then it all clicked with like this last presentation for some reason. I was just like, oh, I didn't realize that's what this was. Let's go.
It feels like they're trying to do the Hades thing where it's like a roguelike with a story. Like they're going to have like it's not like every time you start over, you're just completely starting over. It seems like they're going to add bolt on new story moments and things that make you want to keep going. So it could be cool. How Smart makes cool games. I mean, you know.
I'm actually like I had no hype for this game at all until the state of play, and I was just like, I'm actually so down if this turns out to feel really good, have cool PS5 features on the controller, and all that. Like this could be a lot of fun. But I got into roguelike so hard this past year, like this is like a dream come true for me. Is like a really high budget, crisp, next gen looking. That style of game, oh god,
it's a really pretty game for sure. I hope the environments are more varied than what they've shown so far.
Yes, same.
But
it's gonna be a $70 game. Surely they've got more going on than that, right?
Well, I mean, who knows?
Come on, yeah, true.
Mario Golf is $60, so
let's not compare apples to oranges. All right.
Let's not compare Sony's to Nintendo's. Okay.
No, but actually, I mean, Nintendo's giving us a $60 remake, re-release of Skyward Sword that looks the exact same and is going to be bare bones as hell. Sony just gave us a $70 remake of Demon Souls that...
It's true, yeah. It's kind of... it's true.
It's a $10 difference, but like, look at that $10 difference.
No, it's true. It's really true. Yeah, that Demon Souls remake is fucking high quality. Yeah, that's a good point. What else? Oddworld. New Oddworld game. Lorne Lanning popped up to talk about it. I was never an Oddworld fan. When I was a kid, I actually remember Oddworld gave me nightmares on the PS1. I thought that game was creepy as a child. It was gross.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was gross. Like, I specifically remember always thinking those games were, like, just disgusting. And that's why I didn't play them.
Yep, for sure. Stranger's Wrath, though. Cool-ass game.
Yeah, that one always looked cool. I was like such a casual gamer back then. I was like, first-person shooters, I can't do it. But it always looked really cool, that one specifically.
Yeah, Stranger's Wrath is a good game. It's on Switch also. So, I mean, this is on PS Plus, so I'll probably play it just to check it out. But it comes out April 6th, and it'll be one of the April PS Plus games. So
really, I didn't catch that. Oh, dude, can we just honorable mention to fucking Sony's PS Plus games? Like,
they've been doing good lately.
Shit.
Yeah, they've been
going
good.
off.
March,
man.
March. If you don't already have Final Fantasy and you don't care about getting a PS5 upgrade, then you get it that way.
And Remnant from the Ashes is a great game too. And I don't know.
I mean, I tried playing that game a little bit, and B-Paul hated it so much that he made us stop playing it. So I don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah. B-Paul had like a visceral reaction to that game in a way that I was shocked. Like he was like, "This game sucks." I was like, "Really?"
Wow.
It kind of just seems like Diablo, but third person.
Yeah, I only know a handful of people that have played it, but they all really enjoyed it and made me want to play it. I hadn't even heard of it until people talked about it.
I thought it was okay. I don't know. It didn't really bug me, but
the other two PS Plus games, one of them's a VR game that I have played and liked, but I don't want to talk about. But the other one, the PS5 free game, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that either. I know nothing about it. Yeah,
Marquette. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, could be interesting, but. Yeah, and then. Sifu. Yeah, Sifu.
Huh, yeah.
So Sifu, I think it's worth noting, is like it literally means master or something in Mandarin. It's like teacher.
Okay.
Like somebody who excels at something.
Sensei.
Yeah, kind of similar idea, yeah, for sure. And this game looks amazing. The hallway, a lot of people were getting Old Boy vibes from the hallway, but they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're wrong about that. That hallway is the Raid 1 entirely. That Sifu hallway fight is like a guy literally pulls out a machete. That's exactly what happens in the Raid 1.
Yeah.
like it's crazy. So That game looks cool as fuck. I really liked the visual style of it, like the kind of painterly, but also I don't know. It doesn't. It looks like, I don't want to say cartoony, but it looks stylized, right? It doesn't look. It doesn't look like they're shooting for realism. At all, right?
It kind of reminded me of like Absolver's style a little bit.
It's the same studio. So,
oh wow, that's hilarious! I did not know that.
yeah, it's the same studio. So,
okay.
which I played.
Damn, okay.
I played only a little bit of Absolver and it didn't gel with me. But the combat system of Absolver was cool, but the gameplay loop of that game didn't really vibe with me. But
yeah, same thoughts exactly.
But this seems like it's a game where you kind of go through all these fights, and then every time you die, it looks like you get older. And basically your mission is to kind of avenge your family. I heard. So you're kind of just fighting through all these levels until you get to the end of the game, and every time you die, you get a little older, and you just keep progressing. So maybe there will be, maybe it'll be like a high replayability kind of thing, where they expect you to like, try to beat the game without dying or something, whatever. But it was a good trailer. Like they made a good fucking trailer for that game.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks cool. I didn't see a release date for that one, so.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And then, man, I really want Deathloop to be good. I think I'm the biggest Arcane fan on the planet, maybe.
Really?
Dishonored 1 and 2 are... I mean, I've replayed Dishonored 1 probably like 3 times now. Like, it's Dishonored as like a universe interests me so much. Like, it was designed in part with the guy who designed Half-Life 2's world. That was like a big thing at the time when it was coming out. Dishonored
no wonder.
1. Yeah, it has a lot of similar vibes. And what's up?
I don't even know what I was about to say. I love Dishonored though. I was just going to talk about that. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It really was great.
Dishonored 1 is like, I thought it couldn't possibly get better, and then I recently beat Dishonored 2 finally after years of not playing it, and I realized that Dishonored 2 is just as good, if not better.
Okay. Yeah, I've never played 2 for some reason, so I have it downloaded on Game Pass. I should just play it.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, those games are so like, Arcane is just a hell of a fucking studio.
Yeah.
They can't miss, and I really want Deathloop to be good. It looks weird. It looks really weird.
Yeah. I don't fully understand what... I don't know. It seems...
My understanding is that basically it's a game where it loops, and you have to kill 8, like, you have to assassinate 8 important characters in one loop, or the whole thing resets. And you just keep trying to do that.
I guess what I wish they would give me is, and maybe they did and I just can't tell, I wish they would give me gameplay that doesn't seem so scripted, and they would show me literally them trying to do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see them attempt this loop and try to kill one of the characters. Like, I'm having trouble literally visualizing how the game will work, I guess.
Yeah, well, especially I think the thing that makes it the most complicated to me is, how does the other character play in who's trying to kill you? The girl. She it seems like she's inhabited by a player most of the time.
I've heard it is a choice, but they want it to be a player. But you can choose to have it be a non-player character instead, but it's basically like an invader in Dark Souls. Like, they'll get pulled in, and they're going to be trying to kill you while you're trying to do it.
Yeah.
Which, don't know how I feel about it. If you
Yeah.
can't beat the game without beating another player, that seems like a slippery slope.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, it looks really fun. This is the first time that Arcane has made something that's like just a straight up shooter. So, yeah, I mean, I assume we'll know more before long, right? I think that game's coming out in like May. So
soon, yeah, I think.
yeah, May 21st. So I mean, it's a PS5 exclusive, which is really funny because well, we talked about this, but Arcane got bought as part of that Microsoft acquisition.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
They were part of the Bethesda. They were under the Bethesda umbrella. So
Yeah, I can't wait for the Microsoft PS5 exclusive Deathloop.
yes, exactly. Yeah, and then I think that's it for the state of play thing. I know, Crossley, you wanted to talk about the Final Fantasy stuff that kind of dropped after the event.
Yeah.
The Ever. What was it?
Yeah, Ever Crisis.
Ever Crisis. Yeah.
I don't fully understand what it is, I'll be honest, but they showed it's literally just Final Fantasy VII, the original version, but with a whole new look to it, which cool, whatever. But so that's great. They're going to do Final Fantasy VII again on mobile, and it looks better. Cool, I get it.
Yeah.
What I don't get is how they're doing everything else related to Final Fantasy VII, including the anime, the movie, Crisis Core, which is a whole other turn-based RPG, and Dirge of Cerberus, which is a third-person shooter. I literally don't get it, but I'm all about it. Like, I've wanted there to be some weird collection recap thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was possible, but here they are.
So yes, you're right. Everything they showed was that it's basically a remake of Final Fantasy VII, but like more faithful, right? It's a turn-based RPG, I think. I guess.
Yeah.
It seems like it is. And it's a top-down
thing. I guess the gameplay was kind of unclear, because when they go into a battle, everything changes.
Yeah, when they go into a battle, it's not the same UI. It looks different. So
yeah.
But I'm watching it now again, so they don't really show a lot. But
they kind of just speed through.
It's mobile only, so it's iOS and Android, which is a weird decision. And it's supposed to give you the entire story of Final Fantasy VII, right? Here's the fucked up thing about this to me is that Final Fantasy VII Remake changed the story. Which is my understanding.
I don't know if you want me to talk about this because you haven't finished it, but I will. I mean,
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that it's
clearly,
I know that it's different. That's all I know. So
here, all right, let me say this, because this will maybe spoil what is different, but not specifically what has happened.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is a sequel, and that's the best way I can say it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and I'm not going to say anything else, but it's a sequel.
That's fucking absurd.
Them doing this makes a lot of sense, because what's happening in 7 Remake means nothing to anybody that hasn't played it before. Like, it was literally like blowing my mind, but if you don't know any of that stuff, then it's just like cool fantasy junk happening.
Yeah.
But
well, it's really funny
this makes a lot of sense.
Because I played 7 on the Switch all the way through before Remake came out.
Yeah, I was in the middle of playing it again on PS4 right before Remake came out.
And I mean, hearing you say that actually makes me a little more interested in Remake than I thought I would be.
Dude, I cannot wait to talk to you about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting, because I didn't know that. I just knew they changed some things. I knew they made some story decisions, but that's actually kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean. Okay, I mean, maybe the existence of this mobile fucking remake makes sense. It's just funny to me, because why mobile only? There's no way that's how it's gonna be, right? They'll have to release this on other platforms.
Yeah, since that's what they did for that Pocket Edition of Final Fantasy 15, and I can't remember what else, but I think they've had a few other mobile things that they've pushed to Switch and stuff now. I think it will come to other platforms, at least PC. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Maybe not, though. I think the only thing I can think of is why it's mobile is because that's the hardware everybody has.
Yeah.
Is a mobile device. Like, you can't reach a bigger audience than that.
And it looks nice. I like the art style. Like, I like the way it looks. You know what's funny,
compared
though?
To polygons, for sure.
Yeah. I remember seeing this thing, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just play this while I'm waiting for the remake patch. It comes out in 2022.
Yeah,
I know. You're dropping a trailer for a 2022 iOS game? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like,
yeah.
What? Like,
What are phones even gonna be in 2022?
yeah, dude, I'll be flying on my fucking rocket to Mars by then, you stupid fucks. Like, I don't have time for your mobile game. No. Yeah, it's such a weird choice to reveal this now, but whatever.
So did you see the other thing they announced? It's not Ever Crisis.
I'm trying to remember. I saw something else, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I'm watching the trailer now because I don't really remember what it was like, but it's literally called
Battle
the first.
Royale.
Yeah, it's a battle royale, and it's called the First Soldier. And I guess the thing is that it's just taking place in the past, and you're all soldiers.
Yeah, that's right.
VII,
Yeah,
killing each other.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I saw a lot of memes about it.
I'm probably gonna forget about it too. I just wanted to throw it in. They did that.
Yeah. Why not? I saw a tweet that was just like, anyone who had Final Fantasy Battle Royale on their bingo cards gets a bingo. Yeah, like it's pretty weird. I'm watching gameplay. Yeah. It looks pretty bad.
It does, yeah. Is it mobile?
Yes.
It looks mobile.
It's mobile.
Okay, yeah. Get the fuck out of here, Square Enix.
Yeah, it's pretty strange.
Is it also in 2022?
That's a good question, actually.
I hope so.
It's available tonight.
Yeah,
it's free to play with in-app purchases. Now it says 2021 here on the. It doesn't have a specific date, but it says 2021. So, yeah, fuck, man, what a weird choice. What's even funnier is like, it looks beautiful. Like, phone games look this good. What the fuck? That's crazy.
That's how I felt about Ever Crisis too. Before they said it was a mobile game, I wouldn't have guessed. I was watching the trailer on my fucking TV, and that shit looked great. I mean,
yeah, this game looks crazy nice, but I mean, it's doesn't look fun to play. So I don't know.
Yeah. Rip.
Yeah, and then I think that's the end of State of Play, Final Fantasy stuff. And then we have the Pokemon Presents, which is, this just happened yesterday. This is kind of a big thing, I think. I think one of these things is a big thing. So let's start with the non-big thing first. I have a question before we get into this. Did they remake Ruby and Sapphire?
Yeah.
When? When was that?
3DS, after X and Y, before Sun and Moon.
Okay, they need to fuck off because I want to play that on the Switch. I don't want to bust out my 3DS. I want to play that on the Switch. How come Diamond and Pearl, the shitty Pokemon? No. I'm sorry. No, it's fine. I mean, I don't know. I remember, you know what's funny? I remember Diamond and Pearl being the one that I played and went, this is the first time I'd ever played a Pokemon game and went, huh, I don't like this. Like, literally the first time in my life. I remember sitting in my, like, 6th grade, 7th grade class with my fucking shitty original DS. The gray monstrosity. And playing Diamond and just being like, wow, this game is not that good.
And you're saying that was your first Pokemon game, or that was the first one where you felt that way?
That was the first one I felt that way. No. I played every Pokemon game from. I had a copy of Blue on the original GBA, so or original GB.
Most people kind of feel that way. Where it was like Gen 1, 2, 3, and then 4. It was kind of just a steady decline from there.
Yeah.
I enjoyed 4 still, but I agree that's like definitely the drop off, like where it starts to lose its magic, I think.
Yeah. It's funny to see everybody mad about this game. So I guess we should say what it is. So this is a brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It's coming out later this year. It's a remake of Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, I mean, people are really mad about the art style of this game. I don't know why. I guess because it's like a chibi CG.
I don't know why either. Because it's the exact same style that the Ruby and Sapphire remake is in.
Really? Okay.
And that's the last remake we got. So I don't know what.
Well, that's not true because we got Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
But that's like a I would say, less faithful remake
Yeah.
and more of like a literal reinvention of how the game even worked. Like
Yeah.
things just didn't work the same. But yeah, it was in Gym 1 again. But like the last, yeah, whatever. I don't know. It was the same thing. It was the chibi style. And I didn't really like it, but I wasn't upset about it.
Yeah. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned, but I like Let's Go Pikachu a lot.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
I thought that game was really good.
Was actually really hoping they were going to announce the next Let's Go at Pokemon Day. But
yeah,
whatever.
Apparently, a lot of people disagree with us.
I don't think they do. I think people wanted a Let's Go Gen 4, and that's what they're all mad about.
Oh, okay.
I think so,
okay.
honestly.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I every time I see somebody talk about this game, they go, "Well, at least it's not as easy as Let's Go," or whatever. Maybe it's not the dumbed down shit. Yeah, I don't know. Dang. I liked Let's Go. I thought I was cool. I liked being able to see the Pokemon that you were gonna catch. I thought that was cool. Then did they have that in Sword and Shield? Yeah, they did. Yeah, you could see the Pokemon before you walked into them in the bush, right? Or
maybe only in the wild area.
In the wild area, yeah.
I can't remember for the rest of the game if that was a thing or not. Maybe you could. I think you could actually.
That game was okay. Big O, big K.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, Tyler's really into that game right now, so he'd probably he would fight me here, but. Yeah, they added did you see they added like old legendaries to that game? So they have like a special legendary. So like last night he was telling me that he was trying to catch Zapdos in the wild area, and Zapdos was running around like fucking Roadrunner on two legs, like like a chicken.
Yeah, it's the new Zapdos. Yeah, it's like I have to admit, they did do something really cool with the last DLC, but it's not cool enough to save the whole game. But basically, if you're a shiny hunter, which I was for a while, they made it really easy to get shiny Pokemon, which is, I mean, cool. Great, thanks, guys. But that's like all they gave us with the whole DLC, basically.
I'm sure there's 10 people out there who are excited about that.
Yeah, I was, a little bit.
So nine other than you.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I think the big thing at this announcement was, I mean, I'm interested in that Pokemon Snap thing, but I don't think it's really worth talking about because we all know what that is. It's Pokemon Snap. But this Pokemon Legends Arceus thing, what the fuck? This is like the meme, bro. This is what people thought that they were going to make when they were talking about Pokemon like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, they're calling it an open world action RPG.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I heard that.
The fuck does that
who knows?
mean?
Yeah.
Show me the action.
I liked that
a challenge lobby.
Yeah, right. It was cool. So like it's set in like an earlier time, so it seems like it's like maybe no electronics kind of time period, like
yeah, it's the before times.
Yeah, the before times. And I liked it. The Pokemon balls had a little latch on them instead of like a digital lot. Like the fuck, bro? Imagine Pokemon trainers like facing off like Samurai. You know how Samurai would like slightly unsheath their sword when they were getting ready to fight? Just a guy like two Pokemon trainers like stare each other down and then unlatching their fucking Pokeball. That's badass, dude.
Some concept artist had like drawings of what technology from Pokemon looked like in like the 1950s, and a Nintendo exec or whatever walked by and was like, that's it.
This looks like the fucking 1850s, bro. This looks early as fuck. Like they're not fucking around.
It's like Dynasty era.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what really sold me on it as a concept was when they were crouching in the grass and then just threw a Pokeball to try to catch something without getting into a battle or anything. Right. That was cool.
Yeah, I would say conceptually, I'm very interested in the whole thing, and it's being made by Game Freak. This isn't some weird spin-off, which is like what Let's Go was. It's made by other people. This is Game Freak's new game. They're not making Gen 9 in a new region. They're making this. So I'm totally down. I love a change in the meta, but that game looks ugly. Like the Switch looks like it is not running it like at all. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
struggling
But
to
I mean,
breathe probably.
we're at least a year and a half probably away from release, so
Yeah.
How long do you think it's been in development?
I'd probably say like a year, probably since Sword and Shield came out. They probably
Really?
had
Yeah,
their,
the
they probably had their
DLC
B
for
team.
Sword and Shield was developed by another team, and Game Freak was working on
Yeah.
this the whole time. So yeah, after Sword and Shield was done.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'd say it's 2 to 3 years on working on this by the time it comes out. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this with Tyler. I think this will probably be the game that ships with the new Switch. They're gonna have like they're gonna have like an updated Switch hardware, and this will be the game that ships with it. That's my guess.
Man,
I'll confidently say that I'll probably buy that. And I feel like that's like a weird thing to say, being somebody who doesn't really traditionally care about Pokemon. But when I was like looking at this, it does seem really cool, and I do want to kind of wait for the new hardware.
yeah, if there's new hardware coming, I mean, please, God, give it to me, because I am like consistently now disgusted by my Switch every time I turn it on almost.
Yeah.
Just because I am so over low frame rates and really shitty textures and shit. Like I'm just, oof.
Yeah. It could use an update. I think I think they know it. They don't want to announce it too soon, just so they can have some time to kind of work it out. But I really do feel like that will be the case. I mean, that's just me guessing. I don't really have any data to back that up. I think it's kind of just, a lot of people are ready. A lot of people feel the way that we do, where they think that the Switch is a little long in the tooth in hardware terms, and it could stand to have a little bit of a beefier under the hood hardware. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, I could definitely see them doing that. I mean, especially if this came out like end of 2022, like if we're like, if this is like a November release, then a new Switch kind of makes sense around that time. So yeah, man, I don't know. It looks cool. It looks really cool. I'm interested in it. I think it's about time they did something different.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. I wonder if like this is the first time that they wanted to, or if they finally realized they needed to. I don't know. I'm kind of curious, like what made them finally want to shift. But geez, is it about time?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Do we have any games we want to talk about, or how we feeling? Feel like this anything?
The only thing I kind of did just briefly want to talk about is
sorry. Right before we do that, then I gotta pee. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll finish out with whatever I got a game.
It's not even actually that like. Oh well, okay. Well, if you got something too.
Yeah, I got something too. So we can do that. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one, and then whatever. But yeah, let's take a quick.
Okay.
Give me 2 minutes, and then we'll be back. All right. One second.
Yeah.
And we're back.
How's everybody's break? I ate some Cheez-Its.
Nice. I'm a little hungry. Yeah, I'm a little hungry. I just peed.
Oh yeah.
I just the whiskey and the half a beer has gone right through me.
If I wasn't in my current circumstance, we could order food and watch Attack on Titan.
I would love that. I would honestly love that. But yeah, I feel you. I mean, it sounds like it's not getting any better. Also.
Nope. And my dumbass made plans that I'm gonna have to cancel.
Wait, what? What plans?
What do you mean?
This is
I kind of figured that by next week, when I was considering this, that I wouldn't be incapable of doing that, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Wait, what?
What plans are you talking about?
Just going out, like just.
Oh, just in general, living your life. Yeah.
Yes, just living my normal life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, we were born to die. I don't know.
And this week I will.
Yeah. I don't know how that's supposed to help, but there you go. I mean, I just looked on my Instagram. There's some nice bread being made, apparently, somewhere in your apartment. So, Crossley, you had a game that you were playing.
Well, the only game I've been playing lately is TFT, sadly, but I just wanted to talk about how I'm very excited that PlayStation's doing another VR, only because they have confirmed that they are going to be making the controllers essentially use the features that the PS5 controller has, and that just like makes me very excited.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point. I'd kind of forgotten since they announced it, but yeah, I mean, I think the PSVR is something that was massively held back by its older technology, like the Move controllers.
Yeah.
And by them kind of investing in a new generation VR, I'm I've seen other people say this. I have to agree. I'm a little sad that it's not wireless, but I get why.
Yeah. I wasn't.
It's a single.
It's okay
wire.
either way for me. Yeah.
It's a single wire, which is fine. Better than the
Right.
I don't know, 3 wires or whatever from the other one, but
mine only had 1 wire, but yeah, it was.
Really? Was it?
Yeah, I had the newer version of the old one. So maybe
I didn't even know
from what I understand, they did change how they did the chords at some point.
Huh.
And made it just one.
Interesting.
So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, either way, it's cool that they're doing that, and I'm interested to see if they invest any major game studio development time into actually making that game good, or that hardware worthwhile. I mean, hey, release a fucking Half-Life Alyx style AAA game. Let's do a VR Uncharted or something. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. It could be anything, but I mean, it just needs to be, needs to be unique to that platform so people will actually want to be interested in it.
yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So you've been playing TFT? Not anything else? Nothing?
Not really, just because I've been so busy and tired lately. It's been kind of a crazy month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't get into why, but yeah, basically it's just I've had not much time, and the time I do have, I'm just so drained that TFT is mind-numbingly effortless almost.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been just kind of climbing the ranks. Eventually I'll start losing, and then I'll stop playing.
Great. Sean, you play any video games?
Nope.
No? Nothing? Not a thing.
I've watched a lot of videos about video games, but I have not played any video games.
Yeah, there you go. I know you played an hour of The Medium.
Probably the only hour I will play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe that was an hour. That game's okay. It's I don't know. It was kind of I found the writing really strange and disengaging. I know that that's probably not a common opinion, but
I think
I got disengaged from it pretty quickly, and I'm not good at sticking with experiences where I'm not enjoying myself. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna keep it. But maybe I'll pick it up again. I don't know.
I uninstalled that game, I will say. So I was interested in that game conceptually. I played a few more hours than you did, but I did not. Yeah, that game did not grab my attention. I will say. I just wanted to quickly add that I have been really invested in Spider-Man, the PS4. What do they even call that? Spider-Man 2018? I don't know. What do they call that game? Spider-Man. I've been really invested in that game. I after the 60 FPS patch came out, I went in and started blitzing my way through that game. That game's pretty good. I see what people were into about that. That thing's all right. Yeah, According to the percentage counter in the corner, I am 50% of the way through the campaign, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be very long, but I think I'm good at Ghost of Tsushima that game. I'm just going to like do everything I can, and then probably play Miles Morales. I would really like to play Demon Souls on the PS5 some more.
One day I'll pick that back up. I was having fun with it, but it's kind of it's a little more stressful than just sitting and playing some Dark Souls. Like the only game that I can sit down for whatever reason and play for like longer than an hour is just getting back into Dark Souls 3 and eventually getting to a point where maybe I'll finish it one day. But Demon Souls is definitely more stressful.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if I've said this to you yet, Christian, but I fucking understand what you mean by the whole game is just Sin's Fortress, because it's just all bullshit tricks meant to kill you the first time. It's just like there's no way I could have fucking known that was gonna happen until it did. And it's just like your resources are so low in Demon Souls, like it's very stressful. Yes.
Yeah. Demon
Very
Souls.
stressful.
It's funny to think about it now in retrospect, but like at the time of its release, you were like, "Oh, this game's fucked up," and then you play like Dark Souls, and you're like, "Okay, I kind of get it." There's a reason for that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Demon Souls is a little bit more of a unfair experience than Dark Souls was. I think. They definitely pride themselves on catching you off guard with things. It reminds me of remember in Bloodborne when you're like in that outdoor, it's like bright and sunny. I think it's right before the Amygdala boss fight. And you walk onto that ledge, and then Patches the Spider kicks you into the moat of bullshit, and you're like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that was gonna happen? Like, it's like that in the entirety of Demon Souls is that moment. Like, you're just like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that shit was gonna happen? Like, playing through the mine area again, like the with the dudes with the pickaxes, I was like, oh yeah, man, this game's fucking fucked up. Like, this game's hard. Yeah, man, it's wild. I kind of makes me want to go back and look at Sekiro again. Like, I feel like I owe Sekiro an apology. Like, I didn't like that game that much, and I was like, this is kind of bullshit compared to what I remember about Souls games. But now playing Demon Souls again, I'm like, oh, actually, all these games were bullshit. It's just to different varying degrees.
Yeah, my problem with Sekiro is that it's literally just so hard, and it came out at a time where I was kind of really busy and like stressed out, that I was just like, I know, because I got to a point, I don't know how far, I don't know whatever. I got to the part with the monkeys, and if you know what that means, good. If you don't, good.
That's exactly where I got, actually.
Yeah, and so at that point, though, I knew I could do it. I was just like, I know I can beat this game if I've made it this far. Like, I've overcome enough of these trials that I know I could do it. But holy fuck, the amount of time it's going to take me to do it, and the amount of stress I'm going to go through to get there. And I made the decision that I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it. I'll either come back or I won't. And I've also wanted to go back, but I haven't yet.
Yeah. I think I'll start that game over maybe here shortly, and have some better opinions about it. But I don't know. Maybe I'll try to play Demon Souls first, since I've started that recently.
Yeah.
But I would like to have a better opinion on those two games. But at the moment, I'm just kind of like, Jesus. Yeah, this is what it's like to be bad at something again. Because I felt like, Dark Souls 1, you were kind of getting your sea legs, and you were bad, and like, I had played Demon Souls before Dark Souls, but it didn't really feel like I played enough of it to equip me. So when Dark Souls 1 came out, I was like, okay, I'm bad at this, but that's okay, because I'm having a good time. And then Dark Souls 2 and 3 had learning curves, but because I knew how those games worked, they were easier. Like, especially, man, Dark Souls 3, I feel like I breezed through that game.
That was, definitely easy.
And, I mean, now going back, playing Sekiro and now playing Demon Souls Remake, I feel like I'm it's like, oh fuck, like these games are hard as fuck. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I feel like that's probably it for us tonight. We'll be back soon. Hopefully sooner than like a month and a half, like this last time. But
we'll be back in 2022.
Yeah, we'll see you boys in 2022 with our coverage of Final Fantasy Ever Crisis. No, I think I'm gonna play through some more games here in the next couple of months. I've got that itch where I'm really picking up steam on playing games again. There for a minute,
Yeah.
it felt like I was just playing League of Legends.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of where I am now. Not even necessarily that I'm always playing League, which I am, but I've just kind of been watching stuff lately, and I go through these periods where I'll like have just gamed so much that it's just like, I don't know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm not burnt out on gaming. It's just like I don't know what it is. It's like I'm just tired, and gaming is not always relaxing. Whereas
Yeah.
watching movies and stuff is.
Yeah, well, this is a perfect segue. Stay tuned because we might have a movie podcast soon. You guys want to talk about movies? You want to talk about what's the first movie we should talk about?
I'd be down to talk about Tenet if y'all have seen and enjoyed that.
I mean, we could do that. I actually haven't seen it yet, so maybe that would be an interesting one. I
haven't seen it yet either.
Oh, y'all should watch.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, we'll work out what the first one's gonna be. I was gonna say The Raid.
Oh
no. We'll see. We could talk. We'll talk. We'll talk about some ideas. But
There's lots of options.
yeah, we got something coming up. I think the idea is mostly that for times like this where we're not playing as many video games, but we do want to record something. We might, do some movies or some shows or maybe even some anime. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I mean that new Attack on Titan season's pretty good, bro. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it really is.
So we shall see. But thank you both as always for being here. I really appreciate you guys sitting down and chatting with me.
We have to thank Crossley's cat too.
Yeah, thank Crossley's cat for now revealing itself.
It's been there the whole time.
I didn't
Yeah,
notice
the door's been
until just
closed.
now.
Yeah.
I did not notice until just now.
Yeah, she
so
blends well.
she was just hiding, and now she's saying hello. And yeah, thanks to anyone who's listening.
Fuck you, Tyler.
Yeah, fuck you, Tyler. You're probably not listening, but fuck you anyway.
Well, sucks. VR rocks.
Yeah. And on that note, got him, bro. And on that note, I think we'll call it. Thank you guys. Have a good night. We'll be back.
Bye.